vibe. Come let we lime, come let we vibe. Lime vibe. Lime vibe.
So welcome once again to another Line 5 interview session. I'm here today with my guest, Mr. Duran Humes, the Chief Executive Officer of Plato Alpha. I'm your host, Yuri Armin Camp. So Duran, tell me how things going with you, man. What's happening with you guys, the Plato Alpha?
Pretty good for us. Last year was pretty good, 2023, and going into 2024 with much bigger visions, much bigger dreams. So definitely going to accomplish a lot of new things, and you guys will be hearing a lot from us going into 2024 and beyond.
So tell me exactly what Plato Alpha does, man.
So Plato Alpha consults companies with their software and technology needs, right? And one of the main things that we offer is our HR and payroll software, TriBlock HR.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how's that going? How's the HR tri-roll going?
Well, it's going pretty good. The uptake in it has been very well and starting to expand outside of the Bahamas as well in different Caribbean nations. So that's our next step for this particular year.
Okay, so you're branching off from the Caribbean. That's good. That's good. That's good, man. So why did you choose technology in the first place?
So I like to say that I didn't choose technology, technology chose me.
Okay, okay.
I've been a software developer since I was about 12 years old, starting games because I used to be a heavy Call of Duty player.
Yeah, I love Call of Duty, man.
Exactly. I wanted to create a Bahamian version of Call of Duty.
Okay.
Unity 3D, Unreal Engine, etc. Eventually came to the conclusion that to build a game like Call of Duty takes a whole lot more than just one person.
Yeah, of course, man.
So started to get into something a bit more attainable, I would say. Development and general software development.
Okay, so, for business applications.
Yes.
Okay, yes. That's good. That's good. So technology chose you. So you say you've been in all your life. So where did you grow up anyway, though? By the way, sorry.
So grew up right here in Nassau, the Bahamas.
Nassau, Bahamas. So how was your childhood growing up, man? You was full of a lot of tech stuff around you, or it's just kind of like a natural progression to technology? Or were you always surrounded by, let's say, gadgets and gizmos and things of that nature?
I would say yes. I would say yes for the most part. I believe we got our first family computer throughout my entire family. It was about 12 or 13, about the same time I started gaming. Right?
Okay.
And that really piqued my interest and really started to understand how computers work and how technology works in general, different machines, hardware, taking them apart, putting them back together, etc. Just curiosity in my mind.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, I mean, you seem to have no fear of technology, but I know a lot of people are afraid of technology in particular. And now this AI is coming about, man, this artificial intelligence. I mean, because we've seen technology displace a lot of people over the last several years. Take, for example, the automobile industry, when they start to automate all the assembly lines. And we see the personal computer now being brought to the office where it's sent up a lot of people because people now can be replaced by computers. Now this artificial intelligence is coming into place, man. How do you feel about artificial intelligence?
Well, artificial intelligence, it's here and it's here to stay. And it's been around for decades now. Originally started in about the 50s, maybe 60s. And very recently has it become more mainstream, I would say, with the advent of ChatGPT through OpenAI.
Yes.
Primarily, the reason why that became more popular, I would say, is because those guys decided to release in the wild to the public a large language model that can utilize that was actually useful on a larger scale, right? Because all of the information in the entire internet up to 2022, that gives you a lot more room to play with, a lot more room to work with.
No, so why are people so afraid of it, man? Why do you think people are so afraid of this AI?
Because it's change. And obviously, as you see all of the different stories and movies that came out in the past about AI and technology into the future, things are starting to come to pass, right? It can be a bit worrisome at times, especially if you've watched all of the Terminators.
Yeah, I guess when I say the Terminator movies, man, that's my favorite movie, the very first Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
I could, you don't see that happening, like this dystopian kind of future now where machines take over the world. You don't see that happening.
I don't claim to be a fortune teller, but for that level of technology, we're not
Mm,
quite there yet.
mhm,
That's more along the lines of generative AI, which
mhm,
at this moment, thankfully, is
mhm,
we would not know how to actually control that or handle that. We don't necessarily have the computer hardware to
mhm,
actually make something like that happen as yet.
Okay. So what is generative AI? What is that? Explain that.
So what we have right now is AI that looks at the past, grabs
Mm,
that data, and makes certain assumptions on it. Right?
mm,
It's not necessarily something that comes up with its own unique, one of a kind thing. It's all
mm,
past data, right?
mm,
The more data it has, the smarter it gets. The
mm,
more data it has, the more computing power it has, the smarter it gets.
mhm, mhm,
Generative AI is something that comes up with its own unique thing. It
mhm.
sort of think for itself, in
Oh.
right? So
Mhm,
we get into the more Terminator style dystopian
mhm.
future. So
Yeah. Oh,
hopefully
I,
that
I didn't I wasn't aware of that.
yes, hopefully that's thousands of years away. Hopefully.
Mm. Thousands of years. Why would you say it's thousands of years away? Why can't it be like next year or
It,
this year?
it definitely can be next year or this year, primarily because we don't necessarily have the computer hardware for it as yet. Right?
Mm,
Which is why I say jokingly thousands of years away, but in
mm,
reality, it's more likely 25 to 50 years away.
mm, mm,
Close in the grand scheme of things.
mm, mm. You don't you think you're underestimating the power of these computers to actually start moving on their own, to actually generate their own information? You don't think so?
Well, I would
I'm just
say
asking.
yes and no. I would say yes and no because even the persons that are involved in this sort of thing on a daily basis, like the
Mm,
guys at OpenAI, they're not even
mm,
100% sure of where this thing can actually go.
mm,
And the more information that this thing gets,
mm,
computing power you throw at it, the
mm,
smarter it gets. Because
mm,
all the information from all of history,
mm,
it can essentially, to a certain extent, clone a human in the way
mm,
we think, in the way that we speak.
mm,
There's a lot of deep fakes now where persons can
mm,
pretty much clone you and
mm,
say a script. And that in and of itself is a dangerous thing in the wrong hands,
mm,
of course. Uh,
mm,
so times will get very weird, I would say.
mm, mm. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine because I saw a video about last month with this guy. He was a deep fake guy from South Korea, and he made it seem as if he was in the middle of the Ukrainian war, the Ukrainian-Russian war, and he had all the backdrop, and he had everything around him. It made it seem as if he was right in the war, but he wasn't anywhere near the war. So I understand with these deep fakes now, in particular, but I've been seeing these AI generated commercials where they would say like people are just playing around with it, where ask Donald Trump to make a KFC commercial and have these distorted pictures of Donald Trump and all these other characters, and this looks so incredibly crazy, man. So I agree with you. We're years away from that kind of AI, right? But so explain some of the criticisms why you think people in AI why so explain some of the criticisms people have against AI that you think are just unfounded, and some are totally founded.
So I would say majority of the criticisms are absolutely founded in facts. Right?
Mm,
AI will cause job losses. It will
mm,
take out, let's say, the bottom 10%,
mm,
automate their particular positions. But that's what technology in general. It's always been this
mm,
way, right?
mm, mm,
Like alluded to earlier with the industrial revolution, with the automobiles,
mm,
the factory lines,
mm.
most of those persons were out of a job. Some
Mm,
of them decided to retrain and become a part of the factory line, upskill, or
mm,
find a new place of employment,
mm,
right? So that's the exact same thing that's going to happen here. It's just going to be, I would say, a bit more harsh
mm.
before
Harsh.
the primarily because of the leaps and bounds that
Mm,
technology is making right now. It's
mm,
even faster.
mm,
Whereas back then in the 60s, 70s, when the factory lines were originally started being automated, it wasn't
mm,
as fast as it is
mm,
now. Computer,
mm,
computer hardware is a lot more powerful and it's a lot more accessible. So
mm,
smaller man, the average person can actually go ahead and make AI and automation a part of their lives to where they can use
mm,
their advantage.
mm, mm. So how do you feel about AI taking over, let's say, the chief executive job of Plato Alpha? How do you
Well,
feel about that?
I would definitely welcome it.
Mm,
Oh, you get to do something else while the business still runs. I would welcome.
mm. And put you out altogether?
Hopefully, eventually.
You know something I've seen where now Chat GPT is now in the middle of academia now, and you have these students writing their entire term papers using Chat GPT. You think that's going to be the way of the future? You think we're going to have some more rules and regulations with regard to plagiarism and things of that nature and independent thought?
Well, the question is, do we even actually have any independent thoughts?
Hmm.
Because we all are influenced by whatever we see on a daily basis, and even more so in
Hmm.
the age of social media and the internet.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I would say yes, they're going to have to be a lot more checks and balances in place
Hmm.
at least to the academic system to make sure that
Hmm.
persons aren't just asking ChatGPT, hey, write me this paper on this topic. I'm going to prompt you this way, and then I'm
Hmm.
going to copy and paste it, right?
Hmm.
Those persons are very easy to find because there are tools already out there that can tell
Hmm.
this article is written by AI, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So obviously, you have the folks that would piece together the article that
Hmm.
that it will finally submit. Those
Hmm.
persons, from my perspective, put a bit more work in. So
Hmm.
hey, let's let it through.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's fair enough then. That's fair enough. So you have this big conference coming up now. Which day is it going to be again?
This is going to be on the 24th,
Of January or February?
24th of January.
Wow, that's the same time as no. Okay, okay, go ahead.
Yes, 24th of January at 6 p.m. We're going to have one of the OpenAI human data engineers, one of the leaders,
Hmm.
as well as one of
Hmm.
the local Bahamian artificial
Hmm.
intelligence and machine learning experts.
Yeah, Onassis knowledge, right?
Yes,
Are you looking forward to that, man?
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what do you think is going to happen at this forum you're having? What do you think is going to be the best outcome of this?
So the best outcome is for folks that are skeptics to come down and to
Hmm.
really ask their questions as to why AI is the way of the future, right?
Hmm.
They can better understand how they can utilize it and take advantage of it versus being disadvantaged by it. Because there will be
Hmm.
people that do become disadvantaged by it over time.
Hmm. Hmm. So, what do you think some of the first sectors you think people are going to be disadvantaged by AI?
So I would say your low level white collar workers.
Hmm.
So your office personnel, office managers, etc.
Hmm.
Those are going to be the first ones, I would say.
Obsolete.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Those can be automated by a simple IVR, which is
Hmm. Hmm.
in many different businesses and has been happening for years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the technology, well, only in recent times, I should say, the technology has become so much more accessible. We
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
companies, software as a service companies, where you can sign up, pay $9.99 a month, and you now have an office manager essentially on. I'll answer the phone, take persons through different prompts.
Yes. 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 I see that. That happens right now. Like I say, and even with the banks now, you really
Exactly.
don't have to go into the branch to do anything. You know.
Well, I still live in the Bahamas. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, you still got to walk into the branch every now and then. But no, it's even in the States, man, you don't have to go into the branch for anything. I mean, you could set up your account online or
yeah,
with a telephone. You just don't need to go into a physical branch anymore.
you can
You know?
absolutely. And one thing definitely I've seen recently is that
Mm.
with the deep fakes and so on and
Mm.
so forth, persons are starting to bypass KYC checks.
Mm.
Something that will be, I would say, a bit of a tough thing to deal with, I would say.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Now you're probably going to have to come up with something new. Uh,
Mm.
I haven't sat down to figure out a way to resolve that particular problem,
Mhm.
and I haven't done enough research on it, but I have seen folks would bypass a lot of these KYC checks.
Mm. That's going to be a huge problem for the financial services sector, wouldn't it? Right?
It definitely
Mm.
would. Definitely.
Mm. So I mean, can you imagine that getting in the hands of the wrong people, like terrorists or people who have,
It already is. It
mm,
already is. See, whenever some new technology comes out and the masses know
mm,
about it, I'm pretty sure the bad guys already know about it as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. That's true. So like you say, it's been around for the past, what, 50 years, you say now? AI?
From the 50s and 60s.
50s, 60s? Wow. And it's just not hitting the mainstream market. It's just like microwaves, they said microwaves were around years before they were actually made for the home. And the internet was around for years before they brought it to everyday use, like how we have it right now with internet and now Wi-Fi, because they said the US Army really was using the internet during the Vietnam War, weren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I can imagine what else the U.S. military has as its disposal. So you, so you think that this is all alien software, alien technology?
I
I
I
heard some real wild theories, man.
I definitely wouldn't go that far down the rabbit hole.
You wouldn't go on the Area 56?
No, 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 no.
No. Yeah, man, I've heard some wild theories, man, that all this is just alien technology, and we've been talking to aliens for the past 50 years now, and they've been giving us these nuggets of little things. They gave us nuclear technology, they gave us microwave technology, and they gave us the internet. Some of these things are just so far and so wild off, man. But I don't know why we always undersell, human beings. Human beings are very intelligent, capable people. You are a very intelligent, capable man, Duran. And so why must it be that some alien helped you to create Plato Alpha and helped you to create artificial intelligence? Why does it have to be some kind of far off thing? Why do we have to go there as human beings? It's just that human evolution has gone to such an extent where we've been able to create these things. And as the years go on, as we pile technology on top of other pieces of technology, the technology upskill becomes quicker and quicker and quicker. That's all what's happening. Could you imagine about, let's say, 100 years ago, we barely even had an airplane. Now we're going to the moon. We're going to Mars, man.
Right, right.
Not
Trying
just how much. So that's why I asked you this question earlier. Don't you think you're underestimating the power of this technology piling up on one another? Because you may be saying that we don't have generative AI right now, but God knows when the next 5 years that could be very well in our homes every day.
I hope not.
Mm. so it is something you're afraid of.
Yeah, the same Terminator dystopian future.
Mm.
Because obviously, the more things you invent and the more persons get a hold of it, the more
Mm.
it can be used for not so great things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought, cloning human beings was drawn the line, but it seems as if human beings, they think of something else to destroy themselves. And yeah, we're so good at trying to destroy each other. Like, I thought the nuclear bomb was the last great threat we had as a human race. But come to find out, we have China making biological viruses, and now we have AI ready to displace everybody. Why would you want to do that to everybody else? Why would you want to create something that's going to replace you? That makes no sense to me. But human beings are on this path to self-destruction. Just like with the Amazon rainforest. I mean, that supplies about 50% of the world's oxygen, but we're cutting it down every day, acre by acre, every day, man. So it's just crazy how we so interested in self-destruction and this nihilism, this destroying ourselves, man. So are you a big environmentalist? You believe in the environment?
Uh, somewhat, yeah.
Mm,
Somewhat, yeah.
mm. You believe in this climate change thing?
Not particularly. Well, I would say not the actions that surround the climate change thing, the actions and the conversations. No.
Mm, mm, mm. I was one who believed that, climate change is something that happens as a result of the Earth just going about its business, just a regard to evolution. But
Exactly.
every day now I'm living in this hurricane belt, man, and I see the devastation that it's doing, and I'm seeing the data on these carbon emissions, and these scientists are making a very good point, man. Like we are contributing to, but I'm still not 100% sold that it's all as a result of carbon emissions and human beings are causing all this. I still believe that the Earth has this regular evolution, and it's probably going through another evolutionary cycle right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a part of it, man. So you think AI can help with climate change, helping to change some of the way we do the way we conduct business, and you know, I would say decreasing the carbon footprint. You think AI can play a role in that?
Well, I mean, if you listen to the guys at the World Economic Forum, they
Mm.
certainly believe that it can.
Mm.
Um, but that's a whole other rabbit hole that, yeah.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Uh,
I even forgot the World Economic Forum was going on, and I saw a clip of it 2 nights ago actually. Where they brought in this shaman to blow on everybody. I'm not sure if you saw that clip. It's going viral now. They had this shaman doing this chant, this magical chant, and all the panelists, he went down or she went down, and she just kept on blowing on them. And it was just like that was something weird. So usually the World Economic Forum was something that people look for. It was something of high class, man. It was something that was very serious, very black and white. Now they've invited all these crazies to it now, and everyone has a voice now. It's being totally destroyed. You know, now
yeah.
everyone has a voice to it now, man. I
Well,
don't know if that's the way it's supposed to. I think something's supposed to be sacred, Duran. Which so go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, those are the people that essentially run the world, the government above governments. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Everything is allowed nowadays. So
yeah, yeah.
there's that point.
Yeah, that's true. I think we've destroyed human civilization, man. We're destroying culture because something must be sacred, Duran. Something must be sacred. Not everything must be, a free fall. You
Yeah.
know, something must be serious at some point, man. And that's going to be the whole other set of conversations as well. I'm not sure that's what you're here for, but I just see that I see the degradation of human society on a daily basis, man. And this social media is right at the root of it, Duran. This social media is killing everybody, man.
It it's changing the mindset, shortening
Yeah.
attention spans and all that not so good stuff. Of course, some good things did come out of it, you know,
Mm,
different acting, different countries, different persons. But yeah, yeah.
mm. I didn't believe it was a problem until I actually saw what Facebook was doing particularly when I saw the research behind Facebook, that those likes and dislikes, and it was essentially built around getting people to flame bait each other, getting people to argue, because that's how they build their attraction. That's how they build all these interactions, making sure people could be upset on a daily basis. That's why I cut my Facebook off. I mean, yeah, I have a Facebook page for this business, my personal Facebook page. I cut it off because it was nothing but a cesspool of filth, man. It was an argument every day. I could not stand it even. Then I understood, wait, this is how Facebook actually built this thing. It built it for interaction, and nothing gets people to interact more than when they're flamed or when they're angry with each other. And so why would you want to be why would I want to be angry every day or upset every day with what I read online? Now, of course, everyone has their opinion, but I don't believe every opinion should be out in the public forum. That's
Well,
just my take.
it gets it gets you to come back and open up the app again.
Yep, they have it. They have it, Duran. And personally, I don't read anything on that thing anymore. And they've done, even now with Twitter, they've totally destroyed Twitter. Twitter is nothing like what it used to be anymore. Usually, I closed my Facebook out about, let's say, what, 6 years, 7 years ago, and I opened my Twitter because I wanted just to have like just for curated news. And now Elon Musk has totally destroyed Twitter, man. I don't even get the news anymore. There's no more Newsweek. There's no more Time. There's no more New York Times. There's no more Rolling Stone on Twitter. There's just like a bunch of these crazy videos with these shock videos on Twitter, man. My Twitter feed. It's not even worth going back to Twitter anymore. And so that's what Elon Musk has done. And Elon Musk was the guy who said, I don't know if you watched the Joe Rogan podcast. You watch that?
Yeah, yeah, from time to time.
Yeah, man. When Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan about several months ago, he said that they have essentially downloaded a mind virus on human beings, getting them to fight with each other and getting them all twisted up in knots over this sexual identity, sexual gender thing. I'll get you the clip. I'll send you, and you can watch it on your own, man. But essentially, he's right. But he's now contributing to it by letting any and everything happen on this Twitter. Everyone has all this stuff, all this useless, mindless junk that's thrown at you on Twitter. These crazy videos, man. It's just outrageous. Usually, my Twitter was my safe haven. That was my curated news. That's where all the news agencies there. Now there's nothing on Twitter anymore. There's nothing to actually go there and watch. And so now he's adding to this mind virus where it's totally turning you into a mindless zombie. And he's not a mindless dummy. He's a very intelligent man. So why is he putting that on us, you ask? You know, I guess he's more intelligent than what we give him credit for. Eh? He wants the rest of us to sleep, but he's, you know, the only satiating one. you know,
Maybe.
you know, that's my rant. That's my rant, Duran. That's my rant. That's my rant. So tell me a bit more. Tell me a bit more about Plato Alpha, man. So what's your end game for Plato Alpha in the next 5 years?
So the end game of Plato Alpha is essentially for us to set up shop in multiple different countries,
Mm,
to be able to fully dominate the Caribbean region as it relates to software technology.
mm, mm, mm. That's good. So anything next after the HR application, the HR software? Say it again. The name of it, TriBlock HR.
Yes, Triblock HR. So
Anything?
what will essentially come out of that is an entire suite of business related products,
Mm,
essentially a business in a box, right?
mm,
Our ultimate end goal is to give you something as a new business
mm,
that you can utilize for all of your business operations,
mm,
whether it's
mm,
inventory management, point of sale, HR and payroll, all the way to your accounting and tax filing.
mm, mm. And that tax is going to be important. Like if we go towards corporate tax, right? Corporate income tax. Yeah.
We've heard that before. We've heard that before,
Mm,
but
yeah.
let's see if they follow through on it this time.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it, man. I think the pressure coming from the OECD and these large European countries, they're going to bow it. Because I was on a panel with Michael Alkides, the Minister for Economic Affairs. I was actually the host of the panel, but I think it was done by Royal Fidelity,
Okay.
and they had this Bahamas economic outlook, and I was there, and I asked him pointedly about this corporate income tax, and he was selling it. You know, like like they've already signed on to it, man. So this is like a foregone conclusion. They've already bowed down to it. You know, and I don't think we should be bound down to the OECD and the EU all the time. But you know
Well,
that's I'm not in that position. I'm not in his chair when he's making these decisions. You know, I don't
right.
know what kind of pressure he has, so I can't really criticize him or the government in that sense. You know, but I guess my personal view from the outside looking, I think we sold our baby with the bathwater, man. We when it came down to the tax information exchange agreements and the OECD blacklisting, I think we bowed down to them. We should not have done that. We should have stood for them and say no. But then again, I was not at the table. I wasn't sure what at the time. I think it was Prime Minister Ingram. I'm not sure what he was dealing with. I'm not sure what he was seeing. And I'm not sure what Michael Alkides is seeing right now. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. But Duran Humes, any final thoughts, man?
So final thoughts is for whoever watches this before the AI event is to show up at the AI event and come to ask your questions. And our expert panelists, they will be able to let you know what they think of your question and what kind of answers that they can actually give you. And also as well, this is going to attract a lot of business owners, business representatives. I believe we have about 80 persons already RSVP. So it's going to be a packed event, I would say. It's going to be Crypto Wow, 6 p.m. on January 24th. So show up with your pen and notepad and ready to learn.
Ready to learn. That's good. That's good. That's Duran Humes, Chief Executive Officer of Plato Alpha, information technology company here in Nassau, Bahamas. And no, this is not just going to Bahamas, it's going around the world, man. It's going around the Caribbean because that's how we're trying to build this platform. You know, we want this to go viral. We want this to go make sure people understand that, you know, there's Bahamian talent out here and Caribbean talent the extent of it, you know. And Duran Humes is doing a good job, man. Thank you for explaining this AI to me, man. This artificial intelligence. I wasn't sure. I didn't know about the difference between regular AI and this generative AI. So you're saying generative AI is years down the line, man. So that gives me a sigh of relief, but then it's still coming though. I can still see the Terminators, Duran.
Yeah, you can see them in the far distance. It's almost there.
But you know something? You remember Star Trek? You watched Star Trek before, right?
I've seen clips of it and never actually watched it before, though.
Wow, Star Trek. Okay, you know the same transponders, those guys, they say beam me up, Scotty, and things they put on the chest and they could talk to people. That's essentially Bluetooth technology in them.
Exactly. There you go.
Star Trek was done.
The 60s or the 50s, huh?
Yeah, the 60s. Yeah, the 60s. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And so here we have it now. We have Bluetooth technology. We put in our ear and we can talk to people. The next thing we'd be transponding people or transporting people by the transporter, you know. So who knows? So, Mr. Humes, thank you so much for joining me on the Line Vibe Live podcast. And we're going to put this up sooner rather than later.
All right, man. Thank you.
So this is Yuri Kemp from the Line Vibe Live interview session. So please, thank you so much for joining us. So log on to our Facebook and YouTube page, Line Vibe 77. That's Line Vibe 77 on Facebook and YouTube. And you can check out all our other content. Thank you so much.